Oh my gosh, it is good to see you guys again, back with another episode of Mind Renovation Nation. I am your host, Nathan Bush. Thanks for tuning in today. We have got a lot of stuff to cover on the show today. We are covering red flags number 5 and 6 from my book that I'm writing right now called Small Multifamily Mastery, the Small Multifamily Investor's Guide to Spotting 35 Red Flags. And so we're talking about red flag number 5 and 6 from the book today, which will be bathrooms and kitchens. But before I get into that, I do want to make a couple of announcements on the show. Again, I wanted to remind you that we do have August 17th. August 17th, if you follow or if you like to participate in the real estate community here local in St. Louis, Lee and Megan Fjord are doing their first ever virtual tour with the Tours and Pours group at the Social Bar August 17th in Soulard. At the Social Bar, August 17th in Soulard. So that event will start at 6 p.m. and we're looking forward to seeing you there. We're going to tour one of Lee's properties in Pacific, and so that will be real interesting for the first time being able to see on the big screen virtual tour. So we're really excited about that as a group. Gives us the ability, if this works out well for you, it gives us the ability to be able to expand Tours and Pours to different different investors in different areas. So that's kind of cool. Number 2 announcement I'd like to talk about August 21st. If you follow me for the Disciples of Leadership program that I've been doing for a couple lengths of time now, the Disciples of Leadership program is an online private Facebook group that you can join. And over the next couple of months, we're going to be going through John Maxwell's 15 Invaluable Laws of Leadership. So the next Disciples of Leadership group meeting we have meets on August 21st. It's Monday at noon. And if you want more information about that, just reach out to me privately. If you've got my cell phone number, you can reach out to me on the cell phone. I can get you connected with the group. Or if you're interested and you want to DM me after seeing some of this information live on Facebook or on YouTube, just reach out and I will be happy to get you the information to get you connected with the Disciples of Leadership group that will be running on August 1st, but it meets the first and third Monday of every month from noon until 1 o'clock. And this Monday, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Israelites as they've moved through Egypt into freedom and the parting of the Red Sea and the journey with Moses. And so we're going to be talking a little bit about what freedom looks like from a leadership perspective. And so you're not going to want to miss that Disciples of Leadership if you follow on that. All right, and then after that, September 6th, we have the St. Charles County Real Estate Investors Association that meets at the Walnut Grill at 6 p.m. on September 6th. So you can come out and see us at the Walnut Grill, and we're going to talk real estate investing in small groups there. That's where we take the small group of people and we facilitate a discussion around something related to small multifamily or real estate investing at least. So you want to come out and have that conversation with us. All right. So now what you guys have been waiting for, let's talk today all about this here. Let's talk about bathrooms and kitchen. Bathrooms in the kitchen. Red flag number 5 and 6. And it's important that we understand that today we're going to rock out to some hidden expenses. What do I mean by rock out the hidden expenses? Well, we're going to use the Rolling Stones theme today and the Mick Jagger theme. Rolling the stones away from hidden real estate pitfalls. We are going to recognize the needs over the wants for better investments. And we're going to do this in the bathrooms and in the kitchen. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to cover how do we roll those stones away from hidden real estate pitfalls in the kitchens, in the bathroom. Just like always, I'd like to talk a little bit about this quote here from Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger famously sang, "You can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you might find you can get what you need." And we're going to get what we need out of the kitchens and bathrooms in our real estate investments. And so you don't want to hit the wrong notes in the bathroom, guys. You just don't want to make a misstep here. This can be costly. I know the average full renovation of a bathroom can run, on the low end 5,000, sometimes maybe a little less than that, to upper ends of $7,000, $8,000 to do an entire bathroom. And so this can be a very expensive endeavor if you miss the note on the bathroom. Look, check the toilets and give it a little gentle shake from side to side. If it moves, it may indicate that there's subfloor issues that need to be replaced. I'll tell you a story. I was in a house one time that the owners had not taken the time to fix the subfloor properly. And so there was a bathtub that sat over the top of this subfloor. And the bathtub was so heavy, it required 3 people to lift the bathtub to get it out of the room when we finally got everything detached. It was one of those old, heavy metal iron tubs that we had to lift out and get out of the bathroom so we could get access to the subfloor. Then we went and we removed the toilet from the floor. All right. So we pulled the toilet out of the area and we removed all of the floor covering from the top of the floor so we could get access to the subfloor. And what we found out was there was a whole section on the back side of the toilet. The toilet backed up to the wall and it kind of sat into the corner. There was an entire section of subfloor that the toilet was sitting on that had somebody rocked on that toilet, they almost literally could have fallen through the subfloor because there was missing subfloor underneath the backside of that toilet. So you want to give the toilet a little bit of shake and see if it rocks. You want to replace the toilet flush, even if it appears to be working properly. This will just keep you from having issues in the future. Check for soft spots on the floor, which can indicate water damage or other issues as you walk through that bathroom. And inspect the tub surround. Is it stained beyond cleaning? Are there any soft spots? Or does the tub need to be reglazed? These are all areas that I kind of look at in the bathroom whenever I'm trying to make a determination if I should buy that rental investment or to get that rental investment ready for the next tenant. You got to check these things out, especially if you've never been the one to do the renovation on that property before. And then lastly, we want to check to make sure there's a working vent to prevent mold and mildew from growing. So these are some of the things that are needs inside that bathroom. Again, we're not talking about the wants. We're not talking about what type of toilet to put in there or what type of vanity or what type of tub or tub surround kit. We want to check for the needs, the necessities that are inside that toilet. So we want to confirm that there's a GCFI outlet that's required for safety over the sink inside that bathroom. And so there's dangers echoing in the bathroom. Yes, there is. There's important to be vigilant in your maintenance of the bathroom. So every time you turn over a property, replacing those flush valves, those guts, making sure that you give that bathroom a good, thorough clean over, changing the aerator on the faucet so the next tenant doesn't have issues and you get work orders called in, making sure you run a snake through the drains in the tub and in the sink to make sure any hair and gunk is pulled out of those drains so that the next tenant has free flowing water that goes through those and you don't have backups. These are all important things to do, whether you're renovating the property or whether you're considering I'm going to buy this property and some things that are going to need to be done to that property in the bathroom. There's hidden issues can repel these tenants, guys. If the tenant walks in and they feel squishiness on the subfloor, there's a real chance that they don't lease your property from you. If a new investor comes along and they're trying to buy something that you renovated and that subfloor is squishy, or at the bottom of the cabinets, they see water damage because there's visible signs of leaking, you're not going to get top dollar and you're not going to get top rent. Cleanliness. Cleanliness. Here's another big issue I find in a lot of bathrooms. You know whether that home's been taken care of or not by the cleanliness of that bathroom. And so the tenants feel that way as well. That's why we always say if you're going to finish up a construction project, you send professional cleaners through that construction project to make sure that the cleanliness in the bathroom and the kitchens are so buttoned up and tight because people look at that stuff, especially when they're leasing. All right. So now we've talked about the bathrooms. Now let's talk about these hidden warning signs in the kitchen. What are the warning points for the kitchen whenever you're looking at investing in small multifamily real estate? Well, here's one. Check for soft spots in the floor, which can indicate water damage and other issues. Again, these subfloor issues can be very costly, especially if you have to replace the entire floor and subflooring in order to make that repair. Confirm that there's GCFIs that are required for safety in the kitchen near the sinks. right? This is something that if there's water in the area, there's got to be a GCFI outlet if you're going to have a plug and an outlet there. So again, we're not talking about the wants that you have. We're not talking about beautiful countertops. We're not talking about stainless steel appliances or the brushed nickel lighting fixtures that can be inside these beautiful kitchens that attract tenants and attract other investors. We're talking about if you're doing the work, if you're doing the work of investigating whether you should buy a property or not, maybe these are some things to consider. If you're doing the work to turn that property over and get it ready for the next tenant, these are very important things that you should be considering. And then make sure you inspect the condition of the cabinets. Are they in good shape? Do they need to be replaced? I don't know how many times I've been into properties where the cabinets have been painted 10 times. Like, look, on the 11th, 12th, 13th time that you're repainting those cabinets, maybe it might be time to just consider the upgrade that needs to be done inside that kitchen. Now, can that be done every single time? No, I understand that we have budgets and we have limitations on what resources we have access to and what's available and what will make that property profitable. Don't over renovate the property, but surely don't under renovate that property if you're trying to get good money for your rental. All right. And then check the floor under the sink base of the cabinet. This is where you can check for potential water damage leaks. So open up the drawers underneath the sink and look underneath there. Is there water damage there? If there's water damage there at the base, that's going to indicate that that pipe is leaking. Maybe that sink's clogged. Maybe that garbage disposal is broken. It's also going to indicate that there might also be rot in the subfloor, that if you can get underneath the property into a basement situation and check to see if there's damage underneath that sink, that's also important. All right. Recipe for safe sanctuary. What is the recipe for a safe sanctuary here? Tenants seek both charm and safety. Charm and safety. So, from a property management perspective, we often talk about three things: clean, safe, and functional. If it's there, it needs to work properly. If it's there, it needs to work properly. If it's there, it needs to be safe. You have to check to make sure that there's no safety issues with whatever's inside the home, especially inside the kitchen. For specifics, if you have a fancy range hood inside the kitchen, does it work? Is the light bulb that's in the range hood, is the glass still intact or is it broken? We need to make sure that it's safe and then clean. You can't have a range hood that sits over the stove that's full of dust and grease and debris. You need to make sure that it's clean, and then take the perspective of the charm of the property. Then take the perspective of what can bring a little bit of charm into this area. The next thing, the weight of the kitchen conditions in property evaluation. So the weight of kitchen conditions in property evaluation. What do I mean by that? When you're doing your evaluation to determine if this is going to be a cash flowing property, to determine if you're going to upgrade or put additional money into different rooms in the property, there's a couple of different rooms that really have an impact. Number one, the first room of the property being the exterior that the tenants are going to be walking up to, or the buyers are going to be walking up to. That's got to make sure that it pops and that there's a wow and that that has some charm to it. The second place that tenants are going to care most about when they walk into the property is their kitchens, guys. This is the place where they spend all of their time with their families. This is the place inside the kitchens is where tenants, this is where they connect. This is where they are going to share most of the time in their life. And so if you're going to make decisions about where to invest money inside of a property, it is usually a good decision to focus on clean, safe, and functional, and then the kitchen, and then the kitchen. That will ultimately help sell that property. That, there's five reasons why people will buy from you, right? So if I'm selling anything in the world, there's five reasons why people buy from you. This is where they get their satisfaction from. Number one, they get their satisfaction from if they know, like, and trust you, they'll buy from you. They'll buy from you and get their satisfaction from if everybody else is doing it, if everybody else is buying from you, if you have hot properties, if you're known well, people will buy from you. If it makes good sense logically. They'll buy from you. They'll buy from you if if it's close to their school district, or if it's close to work. This makes logical sense as to why they would buy a specific home or lease a home from you. If it's an investor, they'll buy from you logically if the numbers make sense, right? So logic is a big one. Then the fourth reason why people buy from you is because there's a wow factor. There's a wow factor. Kitchens, guys, can be that wow factor. They can be that opportunity where when the tenant walks in, they go, oh, I got to have this place. And so this is where you can spend just a little bit to get a lot of return. If you want to take the value of your property up from a leasing perspective, you want the income to come up, a lot of times you can spend some time here in these kitchens, and that'll have a significant impact in the value of the overall property, at least from the tenant's concern and perspective on how much they pay for rent. All right. And ensuring the kitchen isn't just pretty, but overall functional and safe. All right. So the harmony and the warning signs of real estate, guys, the harmony and warning signs of real estate. It is really important that we take some time to understand. It's really important that we take some time to understand this right here. Let me pull it up. Share screen. Sorry about that. Why is it not sharing my screen? I hope you guys can see this because I cannot see it on the stream here. Try one more time. The joys of doing things live, right? All right. Well, I will still go through it for you. There you go. There you go. All right. So the harmony and warning signs in real estate here. The first thing is to understand that every property has a unique tale. It has a unique story. So yes, we do care about the numbers on the property, but also there's kind of this intuitive side of investing in real estate. Just as every song tells a story, so does every property. It might whisper memories that were made, challenges that were faced, or potential yet to be unlocked. You've got to understand the story that's going on in your property if you want that property to really rock and roll long term. Harmony versus warning signals. While some tales are harmonious, painting a picture of effortless success, others serve as cautionary tales, pointing out pitfalls and challenges. Both are valuable in guiding our real estate journey. Both are valuable. So we have the harmonious side of life where we have a positive mentality and we want things to work out. And I know that there's a lot of positive psychology books out there that tell you, you just have to go for it. You have to dream big. You have to put the effort in and things will work out. And it's kind of this kumbaya thought process that if you just have a positive thought process, that things will ultimately be successful. But you also have to heed in that the warning signs. And so don't just allow yourself to buy a property and fall in love with the story of a property without heeding the harmony and the warning signs. All right. Navigating ambition with caution. So it's crucial to strike a balance between ambition, which drives us forward, and caution, which ensures that we don't trip and fall. Look, caution isn't something that should keep you from moving forward. Caution is something that should help you detail out what you're going to do in the event that something happens. What is the what are the challenges? What are the things that could wreck this transaction? Understanding the threats doesn't mean that you don't follow through on your ambitions. A lot of times, a lot of people sit in this warning and this analysis side. They get analysis paralysis and they never take action on anything. And then there's this whole other group of people that are overly ambitious and they take action on everything. And I'm just telling you, you got to balance this stuff out when you're real estate investing. The quest for lucrative and safe investments. look, guys, we aim for success. But the wise investor knows that a lucrative deal is only as great as it is safe. So you got to bet on the long term. You got to bet on the long run. The more that the property looks profitable on your spreadsheets, the higher the cap rate, the higher the risk. The higher the cap rate, the higher the risk. In my book, Small Multifamily Mastery, you'll read through a whole section where my partner and I have deemed a whole section of properties in St. Louis. We call them penny stock properties. There's a chance you could be profitable with them, but I don't know that it's the chances that there's really high profitability if you find a good tenant, put it in that property, and they stay long term. The challenge is that it's really a risky investment. And the houses are so old in this area that if you bought the property and there is an issue that you missed during the inspection phase, that it's very costly down the road. So you just got to balance that quest for lucrative versus a safe investment. And then of course, vigilance towards real estate red flags. You got to be vigilant towards these red flags, guys. The reason I'm writing this book on the 35 red flags and how to spot them is because it's not just in the evaluation process from the standpoint of the condition of the property, right? This whole chapter with red flags 3, 4, 5, and 6, I believe, in my book, the whole chapter is about condition, condition, condition. And it talks about how everybody in real estate believes in location, location, location is the most important thing. And I'm challenging you to believe and understand the condition, condition, condition helps you in spotting whether it's a good potential investment or not for you. Because if you understand the condition and can live with the conditions of that property, because you understand how to mitigate that and move through that with caution, and you've heeded these warning signs, and you understand the story of the property and the neighborhood and the whole 9 yards, then you're able to move that much easier through with a profitable investment on the backside. But I think it's a lot easier to move forward with the caution and understanding what you're actually looking at. And so, vigilant towards these red flags. In our journey, guys, in real estate, it's going to be sprinkled with these signs of good and bad. It's our duty to recognize these red flags and address them promptly and ensure that they don't derail our good investments. And so I appreciate you hanging in and rocking and rolling with us today on Mind Renovation Nation. As we continue our real estate journey, let the stories of these properties guide you guys. Let there be harmony inside that inspires you, but never ignore these warning signs, these tales, these sure stories that I've been giving you of red flags that will prevent you from having profitable investments in the long term. Again, my name is Nathan Bush. This has been another episode of Mind Renovation Nation. Looking forward to seeing you guys again. If you wouldn't mind, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the bell. If this is on Facebook, please share out this with your friends that are other real estate investors. And if this has been helpful for you in any way, shape, or form, give me the like sign on YouTube and on Facebook if this is where you're seeing this. All right, guys. And if you're watching on replay, know that I care about you as well. Feel free to reach out to me if you want to participate in any of the things that we talked about in the announcements. Have a good afternoon, guys. All right, bye.